You know what's the biggest lie about building wealth? That you need to make six figures to get started, that you need a high paying job, a big promotion, or some windfall before you can actually build financial security. And it's a convenient lie because it lets people off the hook. Um, I can't build wealth because I don't make enough money. But here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Most people who make six figures are broke, and plenty of people who make modest incomes retire wealthy. Because building wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about the gap between what you make and what you spend, and what you do with that gap. My name is Chris, and I've spent years studying people who built significant wealth on average incomes. And what I've discovered is that they all followed the same principles. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how to build wealth without making more money, just by optimizing what you already have. Let's start with the fundamental equation. Wealth equals income minus expenses multiplied by time and rate of return. Most people focus obsessively on the income part. They think the only way to build wealth is to increase that number, but that's only one variable, and it's often the hardest one to control. You can't always get a raise, you can't always switch jobs, you can't always work more hours, but expenses, that's entirely in your control. And the rate of return on what you save, that's in your control too. So if you can't increase income right now, you build wealth by ruthlessly optimizing everything else. The first strategy is eliminating the big three expenses that destroy wealth: housing, transportation, and food. These three categories typically consume 60 to 70% of most people's income. And the decisions you make here determine whether you build wealth or stay broke, regardless of your income level. Let's start with housing. The average American spends 30 to 35% of their income on housing. But if you can get that down to 20 or 25%, you just freed up 10% of your income for wealth building without making an extra dollar. Like, how? Oh, you get a roommate. You live in a less trendy neighborhood. You rent instead of buying, if the math makes sense. You house hack by renting out a room. These aren't sexy solutions and they require sacrifice, but they work. If you make $50,000 per year and you save $5,000 per year by optimizing housing, that's $5,000 that can compound for decades. Transportation is the second wealth killer. The average new car payment in America is over $700 per month. That's $8,400 per year just in payments, not counting insurance, gas, and maintenance. But if you buy a reliable used car for $10,000 in cash, you eliminate that payment entirely. That's $8,400 per year you just freed up. Over 10 years invested at 7%. That's over $116,000. You didn't make more money. You just stopped lighting it on fire on a depreciating asset. And here's the key. You don't need a nice car. You need reliable transportation. The gap between those two things is where wealth is built. Food is a third category where people hemorrhage money without realizing it. The average American household spends over $8,000 per year on food, with a huge portion of that being restaurants and convenience food. But if you meal prep, cook at home, and eliminate most restaurant spending, you can cut that in half. That's $4,000 per year freed up for wealth building. Again, not by making more money, just by being strategic about a category you're already spending on. And before anyone says, but I don't have time to cook, let me be clear, you have time. You're choosing to spend time on other things, which is fine. But then don't complain that you can't build wealth. Building wealth requires trade-offs. The second major strategy is eliminating debt, especially high interest debt. If you're paying 18% interest on credit card debt, you're losing 18% per year on that money. That's worse than almost any investment loss. Paying off debt is a guaranteed return equal to the interest rate you're paying. So if you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 18%, paying that off is equivalent to earning an 18% return on $5,000, which is $900 per year. You just made $900 without increasing your income at all. And once that debt is gone, that minimum payment you were making, now it goes straight into investments. This is how people build wealth on modest incomes. They eliminate the anchors dragging them backwards. The third strategy is ruthlessly cutting subscription creep and lifestyle inflation. Most people have no idea how much they're spending on subscriptions. Streaming services, gym memberships, software subscriptions, subscription boxes, premium app features. It adds up to hundreds of dollars per month for many people. Audit every single subscription. Cancel anything you don't actively use multiple times per week. That might free up $200 per month. Over a year, that's $2,400. Invested over 20 years at 7%. That's over $98,000. You didn't make more money. You just stopped paying for things you don't use. And lifestyle inflation is the silent killer. Every time your income increases even slightly, your lifestyle expands to consume it. You upgrade your apartment, your car, your clothes, your entertainment. But if you can keep your lifestyle fixed while your income grows, or even better, keep your lifestyle fixed while you optimize your expenses downward, you create massive margin for wealth building. The person making $50,000 who lives like they make $35 is building wealth faster than the person making $100,000 who lives like they make $110. The fourth strategy is maximizing free money. If your employer offers a 401k match, you contribute enough to get the full match. That's an immediate 100% return on your money. If you're not doing this, you're leaving free money on the table. Employer stock purchase programs at a discount, free money. Tax refund optimization, so you're not giving the government an interest-free loan, free money. Cashback credit cards used responsibly and paid off every month, free money. High yield savings accounts instead of traditional savings accounts earning nothing, free money. None of this requires making more income. It just requires being strategic about capturing value that's already available to you. The fifth strategy is investing consistently in low-cost index funds. You don't need to be a stock picker. You don't need to time the market. You don't need to invest huge amounts. You need to invest something every month consistently in low-cost index funds that track the market. Even $100 per month invested consistently for 30 years at 7% becomes $122,000. $200 per month becomes $244,000. You're not going to get rich quick, but you will build real wealth over time just by being consistent, even on a modest income. And finally, you need to develop what I call wealth consciousness, the ability to see every financial decision through the lens of opportunity cost. When you're about to spend $50 on something, you train yourself to think, if I invest this $50 instead, it becomes $500 in 30 years. Is this purchase worth $500 of future wealth? Most of the time, the answer is no. And that shift in thinking changes everything. You're not depriving yourself, you're making conscious trade-offs between present consumption and future security. And once you internalize that framework, building wealth becomes automatic. Look, here's the reality. You can absolutely build wealth without making more money. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and a willingness to live differently than your peers. It means driving an older car, living in a smaller place, cooking at home, and saying no to lifestyle upgrades. But in exchange, you get financial security, options, and freedom. And that's worth infinitely more than impressing people with a lifestyle you can't actually afford. The choice is yours, but the path is clear. If this video showed you how to build wealth with what you already have, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And if you're wondering when your investments will finally start paying off, check out the exact moment investing starts working for you. I'll see you in the next one.